want to make sure that you have no leads that are being left behind, meaning every single lead in your pipeline is accounted for, meaning they should either be on a drip or they should have a follow-up task for someone to take an action on that lead, whether it's for lead manager, whether it's for your, an acquisition manager, project manager, whoever it might be, as long as it's on a drip or it has a task, that means someone is working on it and it updates daily in real time and you get an email. So have a look at that. And listen to call recording. If you have your lead manager, acquisition manager taking inbound calls, making outbound calls, make sure you listen to the call recording and identify calls for coaching opportunities. Especially if you hire someone new, and they're not being, showing empathy to the seller. For example, let's say if you get a call from a seller and your lead manager takes the call, and the owner is talking about, that they had a death in the family, or they lost their dog or whatnot, whatever it might be, and your lead manager just brushes over that information and goes, oh yeah, so when can we come out and look at that property? Like that's definitely an opportunity to coach and your lead manager, especially if you have someone based from overseas. It might be a cultural difference, it might be a language difference. Those are the opportunities that you want to take. And you sit down with your team member and say, hey, if someone mentions that they had a death in the family or some life event that happened, just take a moment and then just recognize that, just validate that, just show some empathy, and then build the relationship, build the rapport. And then kind of you may not, if a seller gets emotional about something with the house, something to do with the house, whether it was their parents' house or whatnot, it's not necessarily that you have a checklist that you have to go through. It could be just as simple as, hey, I understand it's a very emotional decision for you, and we don't want to rush or anything. Would you prefer that we set up a future time for us to call you? So those are the training opportunities you want to have with your team. And then have some, when you're taking initial call, most of the calls that you're taking, you're not going to have someone getting emotional, but you want to have a clear lead qualification, whatever it might be for your business. Like what I shared, it works for our business, but you might have something different for your business, right? For us, anyone that has a mortgage for more than 80% of the ARV of the house, that's a pass for us. Like we don't even want to go down the road of short sale or dealing with that transaction, so we pass on it. But it may be different for you. You may have a licensed agent on your team, so you may have a different more creative way to work on that lead. So whatever it is, just make sure you guys have a clear qualification standard for your team to follow, and it should be same for every single lead that you're going through. You want to make sure. And then we are very task driven in our business, so we want to make sure there's a task for everything. If someone on my team needs me to do something, I'd say create a task, I'll go in and check that off. So you want to make sure that you're kind of getting your team into that habit of doing that, because then it's a clear, hey, did it get done or no? There is no gray area that, hey, I left you a note, did you reply or not? No, there's a task. Is it done or is it not done? That's as simple as that, if it's getting done or not getting done. And then the leads that are not on drip, again, majority of the leads that you're going to get in your business are not going to be super hot leads that are ready to sell right now. So you're going to make sure that you have them on some sort of a follow-up. And then with the 10 DLC regulation, just be mindful of, you're not sending a lot of spam messages, or you're not, sending them a lot of messages that will get your phone number as flagged as spam. So just be mindful of that. And then, that's where I think the value of direct mail will start coming back in. Some of the leads that you're trying to get in touch with, you may want to send them a direct mail, might be a good option. And then, again, like the end of the day, the most important thing for lead manager is to get as many qualified appointments as possible. I wrote down acquisition manager. Most of the people, it's going to be acquisition manager for our business. It's for our project manager to walk the property. But at the end of the goal is to get as many qualified appointments as possible. So KPIs to track, calls made, appointment books, pending tasks, leads not a drip are the important KPIs. Lead manager daily task is to listen to calls, run comms, call back the lead, qualify leads, schedule appointment.